We have Biden's top 10 gaffes, the blunders. This article is written by Jordan Boyd, posted December 30th, 2022. These are Biden's top 10 blunders that prove he's in cognitive decline. And I encourage you to follow Jordan Boyd. She's over on Twitter at Jordan Boyd TX for Texas. Let's go through the story. She writes, it's no secret Joe Biden's not doing so hot. Serial liar, 80-year-old, gaffe machine, stumbles all over the place. He's got some issues. Let's see what some of the most serious gaffes were. Charlie Spearing wrote this one. On January 4th, 2022, Joe Biden said during the new year, it's great to be in 2020.
Reason to be hopeful in 2020. But for God's sake, please take advantage of what's available.
You know, and sometimes you make mistakes on the year. Like I just said, it was last year, 2020. What did I just say? But when you miss 2 years, that's kind of a big one. 2022 to 2020. It's kind of a big gap. Yeah. No, not so good. Okay. But you know, it's January 4th. Okay. You give that one to him. Here's another one. Number 2, Biden cusses out Fox journalist on a hot mic. He called Peter Doocy, one of our favorites here, a stupid son of a bee. And we remember that one. There's no clip here, but Joe Biden sat there after Peter Doocy said the following. Hey, Joe, you think inflation's a political liability in the midterms? Joe Biden muttered under his breath. No, it's a great asset. More inflation. What a stupid son of a bee, is what Biden said. Number 3, Biden calls for regime change in Russia, and he meant it. Uh-oh. Hardly a slip of the tongue. Problematic statement came in March when he publicly called for regime change in Russia. He said, for God's sake, this man cannot remain in power, he said during his speech.
For God's sake, this man cannot remain in power.
Yikes, that's a pretty big statement there. So that means that the only resolution to this Russia-Ukraine situation is the removal of old Pooty Poo. We'll see if that is a good term for him. They called it a gaffe. White House couldn't decide between standing by it or downplaying them. Joe Biden gave a speech where he said, repeat the line, when they wanted him to say the line again.
Power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power. That's another way of saying that you, the women of America, can determine the outcome of this issue.
I think we talked about this one. Did he say, let me repeat the line, or did he read end of quote, repeat the line?
Ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without.
Okay. Yeah, it's repeat the line, right? It says repeat the line. So if you were going to say something like, let me repeat that, right? If you're like, hey, look, Joe Biden is the worst president in American history. Let me say that again. Joe Biden is the worst president, right? If you were to say something like that, you would never say Joe Biden's the worst president in American history. Let me repeat that line. You would never say that. You just say, let me say that one more time, right?
Electoral and or political or.
All right. So that's another Joe Biden having a difficult time even reading from the teleprompter. We also had another one. There were retrospective edits, so they didn't include that in the actual transcripts. Number 5, Biden's biggest gaffes. Falsely claimed that he had cancer. That's why I and so many damn other people I grew up with have cancer, he says. Here's Biden from town hall. Biden says that his mother is using windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window, which is why I and so many damn other people have cancer.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
Joe's got cancer. Hopefully he's okay. Oh, no, the White House clarified. Joe Biden does not, in fact, have cancer. That's great news. Tremendous news. They posted this. POTUS clearly misspoke. Their doctor came out. Doctor came out, posted a statement. He does not have cancer. Okay. Dementia, on the other hand, we're not sure about that one. We think he's mostly good, but definitely doesn't have cancer, probably. Number 6, Biden says that American troops are selfish. Wow, that's not appropriate at all. Here's what he says about the selfishness of American troops.
Bravery and selflessness of and sacrifices.
Oh, that was just a flub.
We'll always honor the bravery and selflessness of and sacrifices of the Americans who serve.
All right, so he just slipped up on that one. All right, okay, I get it. You can slip up. Selfishness, selflessness, that's a pretty close word. Biden calls the Holocaust honorable. What? All right, here's another one. He says during a visit to Israel, Biden claimed that he was there to keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust. Oh, he corrected that one. The horror of the Holocaust. Yeah. He says, and to continue, which we must do every day, continue to bear witness, to keep alive the truth and the honor of the Holocaust. Horror of the Holocaust. Maybe he was trying to, I'm trying to look at it in a light most favorable to him. Maybe he was trying to, honor the memory, like you honor the memory, honor the importance type of a thing. Or he's got dementia. Number 8, where's Jackie? Perhaps the worst of Biden's 2022 blunders was when he tried to call upon Rep. Jackie Walorski, rest in peace, weeks after she died in a car accident. He said, Jackie, where are you? Where's Jackie? She must not be here. Here's the clip.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here to help make this a reality.
No, buddy. She died in a car accident. Yikes. All right. Probably want to make sure you're clear on that one before they give him the microphone. White House Press Secretary Karine tried to brush that one off. Remember, she said, no. No, it was just top of mind.
Return to this question of the Congresswoman, and I think we all totally get why she's top of mind. You've made that case pretty effectively. But I think the confusing part is why, if she and the family is top of mind, does the president think that she's living and in the room?
I don't find that confusing. I mean, I think many people can speak to sometimes when you have someone top of mind, they're top of mind, exactly that. And it is also, if you put it into the context, it's not like it happened outside of context, right? It happened at an event where we were calling out the champions, congressional champions in particular, of this issue, this important issue when it comes to food insecurity, something that this administration has led on from the beginning of this administration, not just across the country, but also globally. You heard him talk about food insecurity last week at the UN and the investments that we have put forward as the United States of America in helping deal with that. He was at an event, you all saw, you all watched, which is why you're asking the question, right, where he was calling out, again, congressional leaders, a bipartisan leadership that we have seen on this particular issue. And again, he's going to see her family in just 2 days, and she was on top of mind.
All right, top of mind. So you get the rest of that. That's what the White House did to explain it. Number 9, Biden's gaffes. Biden isn't particularly fond of people asking about his cognitive abilities, and he fell asleep on a different one, not this one. Here he is on 60 Minutes.
You are the oldest president ever.
Pretty good shape, huh?
Which leads to my next question. You are more aware of this than anyone. Some people ask whether you are fit for the job. And when you hear that, I wonder what you think.
Watch me.
Watch me.
I mean, honest to God, that's all I think. Watch me. If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity, then that's one thing. It's another thing of just watch and keep my schedule. Do what I'm doing. I think that, I don't, when I sit down with our NATO allies and keep them together, I don't have them saying, wait a minute, how old are you? What did they say? It's a matter of, that old expression, the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I respect the fact that people would say, you know, you're old, but I think it relates to how much energy you have and whether or not the job you're doing is one consistent with what any person of any age would be able to do.
All right, so that's the president, and he later fell asleep at another interview.
I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention to run again, and we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that, that we're doing something very important.
Oh, man. So hard to get through it. And you could hear him.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden
Wake
thinks.
Up. Oh, no. And then Biden gets lost on a stage. This has happened many times, of course. Just sort of meanders about. Speech is over. Frozen? Other way? Look the other direction?
Mr. President, thank you.
Come over here.
At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate. But for all the millions whose lives will be saved, for the communities where life will be transformed, thank you. So thank you, President Biden, for your
Oh my gosh, just painful. Some of those are painful indeed. And so those are the top 10 Biden dementia gaffes. More from at Jordan Boyd TX from The Federalist. But she wasn't alone because there was a lot of these clips. We also had another one assembled from Mr. Charlie Spearing, posted this one December 29th, 2022. Joe Biden's 25 worst moments of 2022. Let's see what they are. Joe Biden struggles with a sport coat, drops his aviators during a Kentucky trip. This came out from Charlie Spearing. And again, all of the articles that we're reviewing are linked in the description, along with links to their Twitter profiles as well. This is Joe Biden having a tough time getting out of the airplane. Glasses will drop. Sport coat on. It's just a rough day all around. And we're having a rough internet time on Twitter, too. All right, so you get the gist there. Now, Joe Biden is also corralled by the White House, by the Easter Bunny. This one was a really bad one. This one, I thought they almost killed the guy. You can see the panic in his face. Look, the Easter Bunny comes out. And we know now that there was a staffer in that Easter Bunny suit. That Easter Bunny wasn't there for the kids. That Easter Bunny was there to escort Joe Biden away. And you can see when the Easter Bunny gets him right there in between the ears, right there. Here, let's get it. Right there. I keep up. There it is. Petrified. Horror and fear. Absolute horror and fear. He thinks he's getting attacked. He's like, where's the Secret Service at, man? This bunny's going to take me out. He's scared to death. And you can see it. He doesn't even know. Here's another freeze frame. Look, watch it. It catches him over the shoulder, this bunny. He's talking to the press. And the bunny is like, stop talking to the press, right? I'm pretty sure there was a staffer in there. And as soon as this bunny comes over the shoulder, freeze frame this, enhance. Look. That is fear. He sees it coming right here. Oh my gosh, I'm being attacked by this bunny. Right there. You can see it right there. Absolute horror. Super slow-mo. Panic hits. Shock, fear right there. Doesn't even understand. That is petrified, man. That poor guy is just horrified. And, he has no idea what's going on. And then she waves her hands. And then here it is. Total horror right there. Oh my gosh, I'm getting attacked by this Easter Bunny. And then she just escorts him right out. And so you can watch it again. We'll watch the other angle on this. Here, let's watch the full thing.
Oh, the Easter Bunny, Mr. President.
Okay, here's another angle. She targeted him. Okay, the Easter Bunny is not even there for the kids. Watch. The Easter Bunny comes out of, literally, just makes a beeline for the president. Stop talking to the press. Literally moves him away. The weirdest thing. Bye, Mr. President. Stop talking to everybody else. Like a presidential minder. Just to make sure he's not talking to people. Okay? Keep him away from the crowds. Weird. Go back over to the kids. Absolutely a weird situation. Anyways, that's our current president. So, number 23, Joe Biden drools over a gas-powered Corvette, urging Americans afterwards in a speech to buy electric cars. Here's Joe Biden. Fast forward.
Year 6, I gave you the stats for wheels for
It's a nice ride.
And I think you're even going to be able to start it up. Isn't it? This is all, very specific. Look at the size of the screen. Give me enough space. And if you want to, I'll shut the door. And if you just push the button, it's right there.
All right, so that's Joe Biden. Here's another one. He says, I and so damn many other people I grew up with have cancer. We covered that one. Joe Biden repeated a false war story at a town hall with veterans. Fact checkers have called him out, saying that he said evidently he repeated a false story about a soldier who did not want to receive a medal. Everything was wrong. Number 20, Joe Biden vows to shut down coal. He said this back in November, says we're going to be shutting down plants all across America and having wind and solar.
So it's going to become a wind generation. And all they're doing is going to save them a hell of a lot of money, and using the same transmission line they transmitted the coal-fired electric on. We're going to be shutting these plants down all across America. And having wind and solar.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if, the media actually communicated that message to voters in Pennsylvania and other places, how that might have changed outcomes in certain elections. Joe Biden gripped Emmanuel Macron's hand for 42 seconds in one of the weirdest handshakes
Welcome
ever.
to the French.
We saw this one.
Welcome to the French. You here? Our troops.
Dans les moments de triomphe et d'épreuve, la France et les États-Unis affronteront l'avenir comme nous l'avons toujours fait, confiants dans nos capacités communes, soutenus par la force de nos valeurs partagées, sans se laisser décourager par les défis qui nous attendent. Et les liens que nous construisons aujourd'hui entre nos étudiants, nos entreprises, nos pionniers permettront à notre alliance de continuer à prospérer et à se renforcer pendant les décennies à venir. Donc, bienvenue à nouveau, Monsieur le Président, et à la délégation française. Je suis honoré de vous avoir ici et je me réjouis de passer une merveilleuse journée ensemble. Que Dieu bénisse nos deux nations et que Dieu protège nos troupes.
All right, there you go. 40-something seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so interesting. We had another one. Joe Biden complains about Elon Musk buying Twitter. Said that they're spewing lies all over the place. Joe Biden was caught on a hot mic with this fella. I think we played this one on the show. Says that no one F's with a Biden.
Cameras are behind the camera.
Thanks for everything. Thanks for coming down. We appreciate it. I'll kick the food.
No one fucks with the Biden.
Oh, content warning.
I can't argue with your brothers outside the house.
That's exactly right.
Content warning. Yeah, no one F's with a Biden. If you do, he'll send his crackhead son over to your house to hit you with prostitutes. 16, Union Joe signs a bill to avoid a rail strike, shuts out railway workers. Number 15, Joe Biden admits he did not realize the seriousness of the infant formula. Also blamed Putin's price hike on inflation and high gas prices in number 14. Number 13, Joe Biden said that Americans purchasing semi-automatic weapons is just sick. It's just sick out there, man. Sick, man. Even though semi-automatic, I don't think he knows what that means, right? That's most weaponry. Number 12, Joe Biden said that Brittany Griner is an incomparable athlete who represents the best of America. Little bit of a Joe Biden falsely claims that all mainstream religions support constitutional right to abortion. Interesting phrase, interesting statement there. Number 10, Joe Biden says Republicans are immoral for blocking transgender surgeries.
It's not a joke, everybody. That's why we were defeated in 2018 when they tried to do it. We went to 54 states.
Oh, that's Joe Biden's 54 states comment. Barack Obama had one of those too. Joe Biden said that Putin needed to be removed from power. Joe Biden said, let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. That's 3. Didn't go to the border in Arizona. Did the fist bump with Mohammed bin Salman. An orchestrated fist bump, I'm sure, because they didn't want to do a handshake. He said in his Death to America speech that Republicans are insurrectionists that need to be dealt with, as he spoke to us all from the gates of hell in front of the military, in front of the red lighting. I think that's my number one of the weirdest things ever. Falsely claimed that his son died in Iraq and asked where Jackie was. And then lastly, Biden falls off the bike, which, of course, this was the bike trip heard around the world. Here it is, one last time. Oh, man. And so, of course, those are some of Biden's greatest hits in 2022. And so I guess the question for you is, what was your favorite? What was your biggest gaffe? What's your best conspiracy list? It's sort of, what was your favorite list of all of the lists that we talked about today? Make a list of the lists out there.